Been a strange week. Scored 6 not out at cricket, but got hit for 6 in my first over. I didn't get another bowl. Caught 3 flathead off the pier on sunrise and trapped a rabbit down by the creek. Mary and I had a great time at the barn dance on Saturday. She's really nice. On my 18th birthday, I reckon I might propose to her. Bluey the blacksmith's off to the war. Said he'll be back in no time at all. I told him to return before the first test against England, so he can see me bowl.
No man is luckier than I. Now that Athena is to be mine, I feel her presence everywhere. The stream whispers her name. The breeze makes the leaves of the pear tree dance with joy. The market is more vibrant, the city more magnificent. I have little money, but my heart is rich. Such happiness. Happiness I wish that none will spoil. And I will stand up to anyone who does try to spoil it. My brother is fearful. He is in the army. They closed the Dardanelles a week ago. He has told me to pray this will convince other countries to leave us be. We do not need more war. I just want my happiness to go on forever.
All me mates are going. It's our chance to stand up for civilization, to put the barbarians in their place. Who do these savages think they are? We also get to travel and see the world. Quite an adventure, really. I wonder if I'll be able to catch any flathead or rabbits in my spare time. Can't see why Mary's so worried. It's not as if we haven't been trained or don't have guns. And I'm a pretty good shot. All that fishing and hunting and trapping is good preparation for a bloke who wants to be a soldier. A few of us are going to some place in Turkey.
My brother was right to be worried. One country after another has declared war on us. Now, it is my turn to go, to turn back the infidel. We have had much practice. There is always some conflict here with our neighbors, Armenians, Greeks, Assyrians. But now, even men from the other side of the world want to invade our lands. Do they not have their own neighbors to torment? We will fight to the end. Most of the men have already gone. Women are now taking care of everything and doing all the work. Tilling the fields, driving the trucks, fanning the fires of production. I did not want this for my beautiful Asena, but I shall be with her again soon.
The best present I ever had sent to me. My dad sent me over a couple of tins of curry, and they were worth their weight in gold.
My father came to see me. He brought halva, yogurt and eggs. Other men's fathers came too.
One of the things that disgusts us most is the flies. My God, what annoying creatures. Thousands of flies attack the food on our forks while we try to eat.
There are so many fleas, millions of them, and other things that crawl and stick to you.
We've all suffered from dysentery. This isn't just a bit of an upset stomach.
This is a raging, crippling disease that makes you feel as if your insides are coming out. "150 men jumped out of the trench, but nearly all were mown down within 30 seconds, sinking to the ground as though their limbs suddenly became string. The Turks were waiting, ready for us, and simply gave us a solid wall of lead. I was very lucky. I took about 5 steps and fell from a twisted ankle. Not much of a war wound to boast about, eh? But I daren't move, so I lay still all day in the stinking heat, with the flies and the dead
I slowly crawled back after dark. Over me mates. Joe is gone. A photograph of 6-year-old Elsie on a bicycle was found in his effects. I've placed it next to the photo of my beautiful Mary.
It's good to be able to write again, but not good that I am back at the front and having to face again a very brave enemy. I was wounded and spent a week in the hospital. If you can call an old warehouse a hospital. I managed to get to our trenches, 25 meters in 3 hours. At midday, they put me on the back of another man and I was carried back to the division. They cut my uniform off. No bandages, open wounds and agony, but no bleeding. The wounds were mixed with earth and dried up. At sunset, medics put us on horse carts, one on top of another, like empty wheat bags. Some cried out, some died that minute. It was dark. I was lying on my back. A body underneath wriggled, on my chest, a pair of legs, but half of one was missing.
About 4,000 Turks were killed today. Whoever ordered them over the top sure picked the wrong moment. We lost plenty as well. A truce was called to bury the lot. A Turk next to me said, "At this spectacle, even the most gentle must feel savage, and the most savage must weep." Another Turk pointed to the freshly dug graves and said, "That's politics." And then he pointed to the dead bodies and said, "That's diplomacy." God pity all of us poor soldiers. War is old men talking and young men dying.
Allah yardımcımız olsun. So many are dead, but they are not completely gone. Their rotting frames return to haunt us, not now in human form, but as well-fed flies and rats, the only victors in this land of loss. Am I brave enough to await death in a trench? The ones who did and died, were they brave? Does this usually have anything to do with being brave? Or are the ones in the trenches sheep and cattle being led to their slaughter, captured not only by their bodies, but also by their minds?
My dearest Mary, I was sent here filled with hate, but I now know that hate was not mine. I'm just a puppet, and the hate comes from those bastards pulling the strings. And the Turks, they have no hate either. They're here because of love. Love for their mothers, their wives, their children. We've been told we're defending our empire, but the Turk knows the truth. We're invading his empire, which he's defending very bravely. How can I hate a man for wanting to save his home? Mary, us soldiers, we are living someone else's lie. Sadly, their living lie has become our dying truth. I've stopped talking of this to the other men. For many, such truth is more painful than their wounds. It's easier to stay sane if you just follow the script and read your lines. For king and country, a great adventure, the glory of war. Over here, my dearest, we are, all of us, miserable actors on a stage. The script is a fiction, but our guns are real, and the curtain never falls. We got an interpreter up and he sang out to the Turks and finally got about a dozen up on the parapet having a yap to him. One of our chaps went over and got a cigarette case from them. Did I ever tell you of Mehmet? Mehmet was a gaunt old Turk who used to come out of his trench every morning to gather firewood. Our chaps didn't shoot at him. They used to chuck him tins of bully and he'd salaam and thank them. Poor old Mehmet died a sudden death one morning when a new lot came into our trenches. He didn't know about the arrangement.
Very friendly exchanges between the ANZACs and our fellows this morning early. Some of our men ran right over to the enemy trenches and exchanged bully, jam, and cigarettes. The whole experience was wonderful and proves how stupid and senseless this part of the war is. We organized shooting matches. Ottoman and ANZAC taking it in turns to fire at a target held above enemy lines. Sometimes bets were made for bully beef. Some ANZACs helped us celebrate the end of Ramadan by throwing over gifts of food.
You may think it's strange that we talk to the Turks, even exchange food, as well as grenades. Yes, they're the enemy. But they're also our neighbours. Our trenches are so close, 30 yards in some places. People say that familiarity breeds contempt.
Not here. It breeds understanding. Day after day, you can hear them. Just being normal, making the same sounds as us, following the same routine, probably dreaming the same dreams, dreaming of Asena.
Dreaming of Mary. I reckon many of us have come to understand that in a way, we're all on the same side. We're all lackeys and navvies sent to do what others can't face. There may be a line on a map between our trenches, but I can't see it here.
When an ANZAC takes a day to die, he makes the same sounds as a Turk. So when I say we are on the same side, understand, my dearest, that we are all on the side of the dying, the condemned. It's as if we share the same prison cell, and our shared crime was to be young and brave.